When you hear the word inflation, what comes to mind? The supermarket. Prices climbing every week, a shopping cart that feels emptier, and your salary stretching like a rubber band about to snap. For most people, inflation is a nightmare. But for the richest, inflation can actually be a blessing, because while you count coins, they count assets. In a world where money loses value, assets rise. The same force that steals your purchasing power multiplies the wealth of those who own stocks, land, companies, or commodities. Here lies the trap. Inflation is not a universal punishment. It's a silent redistribution mechanism. It punishes the majority and enriches the few. History is full of examples showing how inflation becomes the best partner of the powerful. One of the most brutal cases happened in Weimar, Germany, 1923. Hyperinflation was so extreme that banknotes were burned as firewood because they were worth less than bread. The middle class, who trusted their savings, saw them vanish in weeks. Salaries became worthless paper. Millions fell into ruin. But not everyone lost. Those with real assets, land, factories, properties, not only survived, they got stronger. While currency collapsed, assets held or multiplied in value. The result? One of the greatest wealth transfers in modern history.
This pattern repeated in Latin America during the 1980s and 1990s. Argentina and Brazil lived through terrifying inflation. In Argentina, annual inflation reached triple digits, destroying the savings of anyone who held pesos. Families watched generations of work vanish overnight. But again, elites survived. Those with dollarized apartments, farmland, or businesses tied to the dollar not only resisted, they thrived. In Brazil, supermarket prices changed several times a day. For ordinary people, chaos. For those with access to dollars, opportunity. Once again, the storm drowned the many while lifting the few.
Even the United States faced this. In the 1970s, inflation tested its economy. Citizens suffered from expensive gasoline and soaring living costs. But big capital adapted. The government created treasury bonds indexed to inflation. Most people saw their salaries erode month after month. Meanwhile, investors bought instruments that protected them automatically. Once again, parachutes for the elite, free fall for the rest. The uncomfortable truth is clear. Inflation is not neutral. It's a silent tax that takes from savers and gives to asset holders.
Why do the rich love inflation? Because they think differently. While most save cash in bank accounts, the wealthy think in assets. Shares, companies, commodities, even art. With inflation, tangible assets rise in price. If an apartment that cost $100,000 becomes worth $150,000, the rich owner smiles. You, on the other hand, face higher rent and salaries that don't cover it. The same phenomenon creates two opposite realities, one of loss, the other of profit.
Debt is another mechanism. For families, inflation plus debt is a nightmare. Rates rise, payments grow, and banks seize homes. But for the wealthy, inflation can be a weapon. They borrow to buy assets. Over time, they repay with devalued money, while their assets increase in value. It's aggressive investing, using inflation to liquefy debt while multiplying assets. That's why rich entrepreneurs don't fear credit. They use it as a tool. Meanwhile, you suffer under bad debt.
The political factor is just as powerful. Elites don't face inflation like ordinary citizens. They have protection, indexed contracts, access to special financial tools, and advisors who turn inflation into opportunity. Meanwhile, the middle class is left confused, wondering why salaries vanish every month. The system was never neutral. It was built to protect capital, not labor. Latin America offers endless examples. Mexico in 1994, Ecuador in 1999, families ruined, while business groups grew stronger.
Inflation is not natural like rain. It's the result of political choices, money printing, state debts, and bank rescues. It's a mechanism of wealth transfer. If you don't understand it, you remain trapped on the losing side. The rich love inflation because they have assets, they master debt, and they are protected. You hate it because you live it through cash salaries and shrinking savings. But here's the lesson. If you want to stop being a victim, you need to play the same game. Build assets, diversify, manage capital, invest consciously. Monetary freedom isn't saving in banks. It's protecting your assets against the most silent tax of all. Knowledge is the one asset no one can take away from you. So tell me, will you keep fearing inflation, or will you start using it to your advantage?
What do you think about inflation? Do you see it as a trap or as an opportunity? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reveal how money and power really work.